Austin Reaves' big bounce back. So after all of the noise over the past 48 hours, and there's noise on this show and Lakers Collective and a bunch of other shows, obviously on the national scene, there's trade in Austin left and right. Austin delivered with a playoff career high 31 points against one of the best perimeter defenses in modern history. Like, OKC is just objectively one of the best defenses in modern history. But then again, their strength is they have an all-time perimeter group. They are backed by one of the best rim protectors in the league. And I think the guy who, if I'm not mistaken, finished second in Defensive Player of the Year in Chet, or will. I don't know if they've announced the voting. Obviously, they announced Wemby winning it, but like I assume Chet is going to finish second in Defensive Player of the Year. He's the second best rim protector in the NBA, probably second or third. They've got an army of defensive talent, but to see Austin struggle the way he had in the season series against OKC, and to see the way he struggled in Game 1 and some of the counters that he had in Game 2, I just thought it was a really impressive bounce back and really spoke to him and his mindset. And like for some guys, this would spiral out of control. And I think he responded immediately to it. You even saw he was talking coming out of halftime to the crew, and like Austin's typically pretty friendly with the media and gives good answers, and just was locked in very short. Even post game went pretty short, and was asked about his performance and just said, "I'm just playing basketball," and like that kept it at that. So I thought it was the proper response from him, and I mean it ended up being. I don't think that like playoff career high in points always correlates to best playoff game, but it was probably his best playoff game, or at least in that top 2 or top 3, especially when factoring in, like, to me, OKC is at an entire, like, the defenses he's faced are Memphis, Golden State, Denver twice, Minnesota, Houston, OKC. OKC is in a class of their own, I think, by far among that group of teams that Austin has played in the playoffs. So I thought it was just a huge performance. And to me, the biggest differences were, now, like, we'll get into some of the things he has to be better with, because he did not play a perfect game. And you could look at Lakers were minus 20 in his 38 minutes, which was a team worst mark. He led the team with 5 turnovers. I thought defensively there were times he either was giving up the offensive rebounds or not able to protect the rim or just blown by. But I thought he did a much better job of playing more under control in this game, and he did a really nice job of putting his defender. It was often Kason Wallace, but sometimes Caruso or Dort or whoever, AJ Mitchell. But he would put them in jail on his hip or behind him. And for those who don't understand or know what that term means, it's just basically like usually coming off of a pick and roll. Like Chris Paul was like the master of this. But you instead of, I think what Austin could do sometimes against this defense would be speed things up too much and be like, I created the initial advantage. Now I need to attack and get downhill immediately. And I thought he did a much better job of being patient, reading the defense. And then if he got by Kason Wallace using the pick, it was all of a sudden slow down and keep him behind you, keep him on your hip, and then leverage that into kind of like almost like you're just kind of pushing the line in terms of getting downhill and sort of just advancing past the next line of defense. So with that, he hit several mid-range jumpers. He had a couple of floaters and runners. He got to the rim and drew fouls multiple times. This was much more of an Austin performance with the game high 10 free throw attempts. Now, 3 of those were off of the technical foul from Alex Caruso and the flagrant foul from Shea. But, so 7 free throws in terms of like him drawing fouls. He had a couple of and ones. And I mean, it just, I thought him doing that against Kason Wallace, who for my money is a top 5 perimeter defender in the league. And specifically, if we're talking like ball pressure, ball hawking guards, Kason Wallace is probably top 3. And had locked up Austin for basically the entire season series and game one. Austin, I thought, got the better end of it. And of course, there's some of the shot. I think like some of the looks were similar to game one, and just some looks fell, some didn't. He got his 3-point shot back, 3 for 6. So that was nice to see when that had been a real issue, shooting 12% on threes. But I thought, again, with the exception of, so there was some defensive possessions, some of the turnovers. He still had a couple, he had that one where he splits the double and then he gets by a third guy, but then he's moving too fast and he just falls out of bounds. He had another one where Chet just ripped him. A couple, lob attempt ones where, he just, I think there was one to LeBron where he just threw the ball out about. Like, some of that stuff's got to be better, but overall, I think, like, I didn't end up doing my game one rewatch episode last night, but I did complete my game one rewatch, and I actually came away more optimistic with every part of Austin's game one performance outside of the actual shot making, shot selection, and like how he played against their pressure. But I thought the passing, and we saw that again tonight. I thought some of the defensive plays with the switching on to Chet, or being the second guy doubling against Shea, or I think Kayson Wallace, he rotated over to him, swiped him, and prevented a layup on that. So like, I thought there were some things that he did do well in game one that were completely and understandably overshadowed by the 3 for 16 shooting performance, and not being able to make a three, and just really struggling on the big stage. But he responded in a really encouraging way. And I think he's got to continue this, right? I don't think he's going to drop 31 every single night. I don't think he's going to hit 3 threes or shoot 50% on threes or get to the free throw line 10 times every single night. But I think he's shown like he can do this against this caliber of defense, and against not even this caliber of defense, but this specific defense, which is going to be in LA's way for the next few years. So I think he's got it. He's obviously, like, you don't rest on your laurels with just one game and one performance, but I think this was a much needed palate cleanser for him. It resets the narrative. It resets the conversation around him. And now he has to sustain this the rest of the series. He has to, I think, go out. If the Lakers lose, then at least go out on a high note and show that if you're, like, however the Lakers want to structure the hierarchy of the team, that Austin can at least be a part of that and be a high level part of it, right? Because tonight, I mean, he led the team in scoring, and I thought the offense overall looked at its best with the ball in his hands tonight, and that was far from the case in game one. Again, he was not even, I would say, like the third guy that the offense looked the best in the hands of. Like, obviously it was LeBron, and then even Marcus had a rough shooting night, but he led the team with 7 assists. So I thought just a really nice bounce back performance from Austin, and I think a much needed response, a much needed step in the right direction, and we'll see how he plays the rest of the series. I doubt he has another 3 for 16 performance, but I think this was just much needed for his confidence and to quiet a lot of the chatter and the noise.